life outside the Federal Witness Protection Program. Hey, it's Susan. Welcome to tonight's episode of Life Outside the Federal Witness Protection Program / Keep the Bad Guys Away. Hey, nice to see ya. Okay, got some loose ends to wrap up in organized crime that kind of tie in with everything else in this 10-year disaster, but especially the most recent, what appears to be a sting operation occurring here in Indio, California. And they're following the same pattern. They're using the hospital, employees and so forth. But, oh my gosh, it's like, what am I going to do? Okay, now I have many YouTube channels besides just the one you're watching. And one of them is called I Travel Nurse TV. And in that channel, I talk about a lot of different things that pertain to travel nursing. So the video that I did today was on this episode of what occurred yesterday at JFK Memorial Hospital, based on this pharmacist accusing travel nurses of being some kind of criminals and using travel nursing, as an occupation that would be able to scapegoat criminal activity and related to controlled substances. So I made a whole video on that. If you want to watch it, knock yourself out. Okay, but now get this. So then I posted it all over social media channels that would, in which other travel nurses would be able to see this and comment on it. And so in one of my Facebook groups, it was actually commented on that, the criminal might be, the pharmacist, and he might be trying to blame travel nurses to scapegoat his own, criminal behavior. And I'm like, girlfriend, that's exactly what I thought too. Because he would just, the way that he was carrying out this whole thing yesterday during orientation got me suspicious. Because see, when somebody starts wrongfully accusing people of certain kinds of things, and then starts saying that, just that they use other kinds of techniques. See, this was a big thing. I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday. Big thing that this pharmacist, this manager in the pharmacy said, is that despite, they also use other kinds of ways to determine whether or not a nurse has, done something like with controlled substances, like steal controlled substances or using controlled substances, besides just the medication dispensing machine in their reports, which in this case is the PICSA system. And then, of course, he made the point to say that he's not going to tell us what those were. And I'm thinking to myself, this is highly illegal. Highly illegal. I don't know what the hell this guy's doing or what the hell kind of crap he's trying to pull, but I reported it at www.ice.gov, Homeland Security Investigations. Because something's not right with that. Whether or not he was doing this before I came on, or this was just part of a sting operation, I'm not sure. I warned my, local ICE office here of a potential sting operation. Now, this would not be the first time that Tenet hospitals would have been working in sting operations. Now, what just happened most recently was a hospital down in Houston, Texas, a Tenet hospital called Park Plaza. Apparently there was a contract in which they were willing to take me as a nurse, which would have been great because I would have been right near Homeland Security Special Agent Paul Burkholder, the one that Customs found for me a couple years ago. And I would have been right near in the district of ICE Chief Counsel John Donovan, the attorney with ICE Chief Counsel that I found, last year to see if he can help out with this case. So that would have been perfect for me. But the deal was that, when I was over in Mexico, I actually had to do all these health stream courses, the ones that I've actually talked about that I just did this last week. I had to do them all at my own expense and at my own time before they would even let me take the contract. So then I go and I do all of this work for these Tenet hospitals on my own, probably at least 6 hours of my own time, if not more, only for a contract never to transpire at Park Plaza Hospital down in Houston. Okay, so this is not the first time something has happened with Tenet. Now, see, I used to work for a Tenet hospital in Las Vegas, Nevada, but apparently the corporation has sold that hospital. And I was looking at it. Apparently they don't own anything in Nevada anymore. So now what is going on exactly? I'm not sure. I mean, I would find it rather strange for Tenet as a corporation at headquarters to be coming down on me, offering me a job or pulling some kind of crap or, offering me a job, not offering me a job, that kind of thing, in some kind of retaliation, if in fact they were investigated at all at any point. Okay, I would find that very strange for Tenet to do that at the corporate level. Now, but when we start talking these local hospitals, Park Plaza down in Houston or even JFK Hospital, that could be a whole nother story. Because keep in mind, this whole FBI, CIA, Al-Qaeda task force, what they usually try to do, they know they can't hack ICE. Okay, because ICE cited this FBI, CIA, Al-Qaeda task force, so they know they can't do that. They know that the Marshal Service is onto them big time because of all the crap that they pulled. So who's left? They hack the local police departments. This is usually what happens. They hack the local police departments. How do local police departments work? Well, they usually use, if you watch any kind of Law and Order episode, you'll see that they usually have informants, working for them or working through them or doing work for them. I mean, my own brother actually did some work for an undercover narcotics detective with the Dayton Police Department. So, this happens, and this is what they have been doing. And I think this is a big reason why the police never contact ICE when I contact the police, because see, what can happen is that the FBI, CIA, Al-Qaeda task force is working this way and working through the police who uses these third parties. And then I have a crime occur and I try to go this way with the police and I get stuck. And especially when I start showing them that ICE letter, because then everything gets jammed, nothing ever transpires the other way, because usually they're causing it in the first place. Now, does that necessarily mean that my local PD is causing something? No, I'm not accusing them of anything. Absolutely not. But I'm telling you, this is the kinds of things that happen. Now, apparently, according to my local border patrol station, apparently they have a good relationship with the police. I'm just hoping. I'm hoping that will stay the case and that there wasn't something that maybe transpired, because that's why I said all they have to do is hit one rookie. They hit a rookie cop. I mean, I don't think that the chief would probably go for this, but all they have to do is hit some kind of rookie cop. And, and it's like my whole life can go south. So anyway, I don't know. You know what? I think what they've been doing is that they've been using, I think a lot of it might have to do with this Mark Moore, because it appears that some of these people who are employed here at this hospital have a military background, and Mark Moore's got a military background. So it's possible in this situation that they could be circumventing even how they've normally been working and hacking the police departments, and they could just be hacking everything through military people, or people that have a military background and so forth. That is also possible. Or people that work for other government agencies, such as this new ER director. Apparently his brother is a undercover agent with the IRS or something like that. I mean, they could be hitting him that way. The chief nursing officer apparently is retired from the military. I mean, this is what appears to be the case. So they could actually be doing this through this Mark Moore and working around that way. That's what I suspect. That's what I first suspect. But anyway. So now going forward, here's some other strange things that have happened. Okay, you know what? When it comes to this kind of a situation, it's very, very difficult for me, a lot of times, even with law enforcement, to be able to distinguish who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. And it's because when you've got the law enforcement abuse at this level, you just really, really never know. So anyway, they've got some security guards here at the hotel that I'm staying at, and that's because there is a large concert in town. And so, they usually have extra security when, that's not uncommon for a place to have extra security. But what I thought was interesting is that last night when I was just down in the lobby, and then a security guard, they just, carrying on a conversation or whatever, even though I think he's trying to get information. They're like, oh, you never heard this concert thing? Well, Madonna was here last year. Okay, so why would the fact that he brings up an artist like Madonna, why would that be important? Because I have actually had some music playing in the background that is, Madonna. in some of my videos, especially one that came out of Goodyear, Arizona, called "Bait Life Outside the Federal Witness Protection Program." So anyway, so see, these kinds of things get me suspicious. So I said, I never know who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. Okay, no, so then the security guard today, the female one, I went out to do my laundry. The laundry place is right by the pool, and I had put my laundry in, and I was coming back, and, you know, I just thought it was weird that she was sitting at a table right by where I do my laundry. Now, why would that be important? Because she was trying to find something. She could catch me. She could nail me in a corner, you know, in sort of an isolated place in the corner in which there would be, like, no other way for me not to talk to her. Do you see? Okay, so, you know, there was like a book sitting on the table, had actually been there all morning, and she asked me if it was my book, and I'm like, no, and then she said it was that Ellen chick, and I'm thinking, I don't read Ellen. Like, this is her latest book. I'm like, I'm serious. I read stuff like comparative legal approaches and homeland security and stuff like that. I don't read Ellen. But anyway, but it's like she had to find some way to, like, try to corner me in an attempt to drum up a conversation. Now, is it possible that these people are even real security guards? Well, I'm sure that they're probably real security guards with some kind of law enforcement capacity, but I think that it's possible in my situation they could even be at a higher level than your regular security guards. Okay, now something else happened at the hospital yesterday that really kind of freaked me out. Now, see, that's why I said I hate being followed. I hate being followed. Okay, so I had actually seen this person a couple days before in the cafeteria. Appears to be a corrections officer with the state of California. Well, I went to go and get, you know, like my coffee yesterday, and then I turn around, who's behind me? He's behind me. You know, see, that scares the hell out of me when law enforcement goes right behind me, because then I think I'm being, then I get the perception that I'm being followed for some reason that's not justified. You know, I mean, so that he didn't say anything to me, but that startles me in the effect, because I think to myself, well, that's kind of weird that you just seem to show up like all of a sudden. But see, this is one of these things that this FBI, CIA, Al-Qaeda task force likes to do, is they like to scare the living hell out of me. They like to create these situations with these stalkers, law enforcement, non-law enforcement, to scare the living hell out of me. I mean, they did that when I was at Summerlin Hospital many, many years ago. You know, I go outside to smoke, and all of a sudden, you know, a Las Vegas Metro police officer comes out, you know, and starts smoking with me and stuff like that. See, I hate that. I totally hate that, because it scares me, because I know that they're really only just talking to me, or they're only being around me because they're trying to gather information. So I don't like that. So of course, this is one of the many, many reasons why I'm working on trying to actually leave the United States of America and go to another country where I don't have this ongoing stalking situation by law enforcement or by undercover law enforcement, because it is very, very scary to me. Now, back in 2005, you know, when law enforcement wanted to ask me questions, this was Homeland Security Investigations, this was Senior Special Agent Peter Lazaro, one that arrested my son's father. I mean, he actually called me and wanted to, like, set up a time to actually, you know, conduct an interview. You know, so, I mean, I never, you know, it wasn't until he caught me in Arizona on the bus after all hell broke loose with Senator Harry Reid's office, was there ever a situation in which he just was, like, stalking me before an attempt to find out information or anything like that. Do you see? So that's why I said these situations for me are very, very, very scary. So, but anyway, that like I said, it frazzles me, but you know what can I do? Okay, now here's something that's really interesting. Okay, when I was in Mexico most recently, right before I came up here, you know, see, like, I'm the Avon lady. If you go to Avon by Susan Nice, if you go to my Facebook page, you're going to notice that out of the 2,800 people that are fans on my Facebook page, most of them are not from the United States. And you know what, there's a very good reason for that. You know, I actually pay money to advertise on Facebook, and when I market to the United States, my marketing dollars you know, seem to get eaten up with very, very little results. I market into Mexico and other countries such as Brazil, and I can get like 1,000 hits like within a few hours. So, you know, I mean, that's really interesting. But anyway, so when I was staying there most recently, and I saw on this big, huge building near immigration between, you know, on the U.S.-Mexico border there, the international zone, U.S.-Mexico border, I saw this big thing, Avon, Avon, Avon. It was flashing up on their screens. Avon, you know, it was an advertisement for Avon. Thinking, why am I getting a hint that, you know, maybe I should just be staying in Mexico and selling Avon versus trying to do this nursing stuff. You know what? And if I could sell enough Avon, you know what I would have to do to actually quit nursing today? Because like I said, you know, your purchase with Avon, keep in mind, most of it goes to the house. Sue sees very little of it. But you know what? I would have to sell, if I sold $1,000 of Avon every single day, $1,000 in retail sales of Avon every single day, I could quit nursing and I wouldn't have to worry about any of the stuff that I have talked about. And oh my God, wouldn't life be grand? So help me reach that goal, $1,000 of Avon sales a day. That would significantly cut down on organized crime in my life. It would cut down on reports that I would have to make to Homeland Security investigations, to the U.S. Marshal Service, and you know, and so forth, and even other law enforcement. That would significantly help. If I could eliminate nursing altogether and just sell $1,000 of Avon every day, your tax money would not be spent on a bunch of government crap. But anyway, that's tonight's episode of Life Outside the Federal Witness Protection Program / Keep the Bad Guys Away. Keep your stun gun handy. There's real criminals and terrorists out there. One is unfortunately appears to be my son's father, and I got the world out looking for him. Keep your stun gun handy. I'll see you next time.